Welcome back to the Boxing Bookie and Johnny Says. We're both here. We're gonna break it down. It is big fight week. Last week was slow. How'd you do last week though? I did well last week on a slow week. How'd you do last week, Johnny?
We did good. We did good. Our week started. I think as your week did with the Salida promotions card. So I was fortunate enough. I think one of the things we get fortunate enough in Australia is our books will drop earlier. So I got
Yeah.
Carolyn Vier when she was an underdog. So I know that as we got closer to fight night, she turned into the favorite. So I got her as the dog on one ticket, and then I got the method of victory with her, and then we did well, 6 out of 8.
Yeah.
The one I lost was I should have listened to you on Mark Buke. I threw Mark Buke. Before you made the Mark Buke call, though, I'd already put my long parlay in, and I had him on a long parlay. He didn't hit. And then the only other bet I missed was fucking taking, pardon my French, taking FA on points. I was trying to be a sharp, and I missed on that.
I was expecting a late knockout.
Yeah.
Because Martin fades so much. I was like, I could probably stop him late. And then Martin FA got him out early. And then Mark Buke, that's my boy.
You called it.
Mark's my boy. I tried to get him a fight for 2 years. 2 years. Nobody would fight him. I couldn't get him a fight for 2 years. I tried to get him a fight.
He was such an awkward operator. It took him like a few rounds to figure out his tempo. Even his posture, how he fights is so awkward and unique. He's sort of like up and down, and he wants to go, and then he'll shoe shine you. And then a very unique sort of style. And like the round one, I was like, all right, this is a good bet. He doesn't look good in round one, but he was just computing. And for me, it seems like Buke is a guy who his confidence has gotten him this far. And sometimes that's all you need. He believes in himself.
Buke was a guy, he was a UFC guy, MMA guy, I should say. He got a late start. He started boxing 15, 16 years old, and he was good.
Okay.
He's an athlete. And then James Payton, who was his trainer, the big fat black guy, one of my best friends in the sport, got a hold of him. And he had a couple losses early in his career, but they were all like short notice, taking on 3 days notice, fight a guy bigger than you, like fight as a light heavyweight, right? He wanted to fight. And like ever since he got serious about it, he got with James Payton, you can see the difference. And like I said, because everyone in Texas knows him now. He's been all over Jim Santonio, the Rio Grande Valley Corpus. He's been all over South Texas in all different gyms. I ain't gonna fight him.
Okay.
I could not get him on a card. I couldn't do it. No one would fight him. And then they got him this fight. You look at his record; it was like 11-3 or something. It's like, all right, we'll fight him. It's like you don't know what you don't know what you're getting in the ring with.
He looked massive. I mean, that's another thing that I felt
he can make 54 easily. That's the thing. Yeah. I don't know where he carries it. He can make 54 easily. No one at 54 wants to fight him.
So it was such an interesting fight because, like, if I judged him on that first round and he looked slow and stiff and his mobility was real stiff. I was like, who is this dude? We're good. And then somewhere around the second, it was almost like, back in the 90s, we had glow sticks. You'd buy them, they were this big. And to turn them on, you had to crack them. And you'd crack the glow stick and it would start glow. It was like he just needed to be cracked or something. And then by the second or third, so is he a traditional slow starter? Is that how he fights?
No, I just think I think it was a bit of like he fights in Corpus Christi. He fought in Houston in front of 200 people. I think the lights. I think he got a little starstruck in the first round. I think once he loosened up, he was fine. I remember we were working with this fighter Johnny Ariano, really good local fighter in Texas. He got a fight that was on I think Showbox or something. He fought Michael Fox, right? And
fighting this weekend.
First round. After the first round, it's really slow first round feeling out process. My buddy Rick Nunez is training him, the one that used to train Barrios, right? He just looks at him, and Johnny's like the cameras, uh-oh. he's not here.
Switched on.
Like this ain't gonna go well. Yeah. All right. We got a couple. I'm gonna shout them out. You want to shout out your new members? You got a bunch of new members. I got a new member. Shout out Free Bands. Subs to both our channels. Appreciate you. New member. You want to shout out your other members, Johnny? You want to shout them out?
Yeah. So I'm looking at my second device because I'm not getting it on the screen. So I think Free Bands. Appreciate the support. Your boy Barlos. We got a new one, and I am PJ Hunted. So those are the. Is that all the ones that are listed?
Oh, is that PJ? I am PJ 100. Is that PJ?
I don't think that's PJ the promoter, because PJ the promoter, I think, is PJ the promoter. Yeah. But appreciate all the support, guys. This is going to be fun. Gary and I, if you're streaming on my channel, go follow 3D. And likewise.
All right. Let's do it. You ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do it, brother.
All right. Let's start with the big one. I think this is probably the only one we're going to disagree on. Barrios. And
okay.
First, I want to preference this, guys. Both I made a no bet list. So if you're a member or sub, you can get the no bet list. Both of these guys, both of them are on my no bet list. Okay, both of them. So I just want to put that out there. But I Barrios is my dude. I've known him since he's an amateur. He's a friend of mine. Like I said, his original trainer Rick Nunez is my best friend in the sport. Barrios at plus 200, I still can't take it. I wanted to originally take Barrios. I watched the tape of his last two fights. He's so bad. Like, he's so bad. His footwork is atrocious. It's a train wreck. He can't move. He gets hit. And he's not even a bad athlete. It's just like, it looks like, but I think with the explosiveness of Ryan, I just think he's too defensively sloppy to survive. He struggled. I went back, I watched the fight. I originally thought in the Pacquiao fight, the draw was probably fair. Watching it again, Barrios lost that fight, and he lost to Ramos. So he lost to Ramos, lost to Pacquiao, looked like trash in both those fights. And now he's fighting a prime 27 or however old he is, Ryan. I don't. Originally, I thought he had a chance, and I really broke down the tape. It's like, he's too flawed. But so I'm taking Ryan and probably on points. How do you see it going?
What's your book giving Ryan on the money line? Like, not that good, right? He's a big favorite.
Nah, it's minus 250. It's not terrible, but
okay.
Yeah. And Ryan on points, I do like the over. The over 10.5 is minus 150. That's not terrible. But Ryan by points is plus 230. But I'm not taking that. I'm just taking Ryan on the money line.
Yeah, it's cool that you have a no bet list. I mean, that's very clever. A couple of days ago, when we were in that like 4 to 5 days straight of like mid-tier obscure boxing cards, it was like one card after another. Not a lot, no big fights, but a lot of fights going down. I had like an 8-hour break, so I chose to what I did was I rewatched Pacquiao and Barrios as well, and I live scored it in my Discord and with notes and breakdown. And I remember watching it the first time, and I scored a 115, 113 Barrios. And I rewatched it again, and I also scored it for Barrios. I felt Barrios won that. I felt Barrios won that fight. Now, in my notes, there's a lot of nuances in that fight. What happened? I felt like Barrios started off good with his jab. His jab then disappeared in the mid rounds. It disappeared though because in the 4th or 5th round, Manny Pacquiao made an adjustment. He started circling away from Mario Barrios' his backhand, and I think Mario Barrios' backhand is very underrated. And then, you look at some of the salvos, some of the combos Pacquiao lands. He lands a couple good combos, but Barrios really didn't get hit that clean. And, he had the whole crowd against him. He's fighting a 46-year-old legend, the aura Manny Pacquiao. Weird, tricky southpaw, even if it is 46. I felt like Pacquiao, it almost, I don't want to put a conspiracy hat on. It almost looked like they made a little bit of an agreement. But who knows if they did or not. Barrios was super cautious, respected him way too much. I like that he didn't get hit as much as he did. He is a one go, I go, you go sort of guy. But that's how he. That's how he fights.
With you. Punch with you.
But that's how he fights, and that's his style. He's 6 feet tall. He's big at 147. I think he's going to be bigger. I think he's durable. I think he punches harder than people think. And you said that Mario's flawed. Ryan is ultra flawed, if you ask me.
100%,
you said
100%.
Barrios'
100%.
feet are bad. I think Garcia's feet are worse. Garcia tells everybody in the entire world he wants to throw his lead hook. He limits his lead hook by wanting to throw it all of the time. He doesn't have a right hand. I think that the psychological questions with Garcia, I think what have you done for me lately? He looked terrible against Rolly Romero. Why do we think that that's not going to be the version we see on Saturday? Because that's what I'm leaning on. I think this is who he is now, the Garcia we saw against Rolly, and I think Barrios handles him pretty well. So at plus 210, Barrios is my dog of the week.
There you go. I want to push back on one thing. Barrios' feet Look, I'm not saying Ryan's
Who
not
has
poor.
worse feet? Put a poll
Barrios'
question.
feet.
Do a poll. Garcia's feet are terrible. Garcia's feet are pretty terrible too, though, mate. He crosses his feet. He gets away with a lot of
Barrios
things.
crosses his feet like it's his first day boxing. I can't.
Neither one of them have ballet. At least when I'm watching Mario, he at least stays together technically more often than not. I've seen Garcia break apart in fights. But Mario gets hit, but he's showing me his head's massive. I'm leaning on the size advantage, the durability. Also, it should be mentioned, you go 12 rounds with a Hall of Fame or living legend, you're going to take something with you. He didn't get hit. He didn't get hit enough to leave too much with him in that ring. He obviously got hit way more against Abel. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I agree with.
Yeah, I did want to address this. It did look like a sparring match. It looked like Johnny. You mentioned that. It looked like there's some type of agreement.
That's what it looked like to me, and
I don't disagree.
And I think people come to our channels, because they know they're not going to get conspiracy theories from us. But I was cautious when I said that. But rewatching it, from about the 4th to 5th round on both sides too, it looked like Barrios was confused by seeing that movement initially, because Manny at 46. I mean, there's a lot of guys I think he beats that night at 147 pounds. It's not the strongest division. You know what I'm saying? So,
no, the division ain't what it used to be, for sure.
Yeah, it's not the strongest.
Let's say they had some type of agreement. Explain the Abel Ramos fight and the Maidana fight. Why did Barrios? Because after he beat Ugas, we're like, okay, Barrios has turned the page. Barrios found himself. And then he's looked like trash, horrible, and worse, I think, in each subsequent fight. So explain those two fights.
This is like a Venn diagram moment for myself and my channel, because you brought up no bet list, Barrios and Garcia, and I could attest to that. I could agree to that as well. I wouldn't push back on that. But my no bet list, it originated with Abel Ramos versus Omar Figueroa. And so that fight started my no bet list for everyone with the last name Figueroa up until the last fight with Nick Ball. So I'm hoping, and then the Figueroa curse has been lifted on my end, so he's no longer on my no bet list. But because the Abel Ramos Omar fight was so, Omar fought like a dude who just wanted to get brain damage in that fight. Guard down, switching styles, using his head to slip, getting hit with all these hooks. So when Mario fought Abel, Abel kind of puts you in this position to fight his fight. And when you're going against another guy's ego, this is another thing. Boxing, you can get guys to bite on fighting their ego. And Abel knew that was the way, it wasn't a pretty fight. That was on the undercard of Tyson Paul or something? Or I remember watching it. Yeah. And I never rewatched it, and I'm not going to rewatch it. I remember thinking to myself, I can't believe Mario is a champion. I remember thinking that, dude. So
two division world champion, two division world champion.
And you can't. And then when I rewatched Pacquiao, I did it with the intent. I was like, I'm not going to rewatch Abel. There's no way I'm rewatching that fight. But I wanted to rewatch Manny to see if the sentiment was true, like to make sure I wasn't just hating on Ryan, because I had just watched the Raleigh fight. And I was like, this version of Mario is not that good, but that guy beats the dude who fought Raleigh. I think so, and that's what I'm leaning. I think his output, he can outpoint him. He can win from the outside. He can win a points decision. Circle away from the lead hook. Ryan doesn't throw a lot, especially if it's one go, you go. If Mario doesn't, fight with his ego and have a big dick contest and try to hook with the hooker, I think Mario wins a points decision.
I really think, and I'm not. I'm going on the record. I'm taking Ryan Garcia to win the fight. So
yeah.
I'm taking Garcia.
I can see him knocking him out.
My best bet on this fight is no betting this fight. I am not betting a dime on this fight. Not a penny. Like nothing.
And that's wise to say, and that's full transparency. I totally understand. I'm doing, for me, it's a dog play, it's an odds play, it's a value play, and then I think there is a path to victory. It's not like not finding a. I could definitely see a path to victory. I don't think Mario's fight IQ is as bad as people think it is. And also watching, we're getting in the weeds a little bit here with this fight, but watching last night, I was up last night watching all of Ryan's media from the last, we'll say, 72 hours that the Ring magazine and DAZN is released. DAZN is glazing him like crazy. It's insane. The Ring, though, released a bit. Does Ryan have an agreement with DAZN? Are they like in business? Because it seems to me that every post is about the script of Ryan winning?
Ryan is, I know this is going to sound like weird and gay. He's probably the most recognizable face in the sport.
Of course.
So
of course.
they're trying to sell the premium, the DAZN premium on the back of Ryan Garcia.
That makes sense.
It's my inkling. Yeah.
And that's the script. And the reason why this fight is interesting and it's a testament to what we do, I do, you do in our group. My Discord is totally cut in half with this, which is great. I don't like when there's fight weeks when we're all agreeing, because then it's like we need discourse. It's important that we disagree. And so the ones that like Ryan, I mean, obviously the power, the speed, the youth, the lead hook, all the beautiful stuff, the shiny toy parts, right? Ryan has those things that when you're a young kid, if you're like, I didn't get a lot of Christmas gifts as a kid. I'd go to my friends who had a little bit more money. They'd have all the toys. That's Ryan, right? But people are talking about
Johnny grew up the poorest kid in the rich neighborhood. I grew up the richest kid in the poor neighborhood.
No, bro, I didn't go to the rich neighborhood though until I was 14. There was no rich from born till 14. Google Smoky Hollow, Youngstown, Ohio. That was my neighborhood from the time I was up until I was 14. But I digress.
I didn't know my parents were broke until I went to college, and I see how it is. I see how it is.
But people are saying that there's certain people in my Discord picking Garcia because of the script. And I'm like, what the script? What are you talking about? If that were the case, he would have beat Raleigh on points. And then he would have been elevated. Then he would have been elevated to full world champion because Raleigh got elevated. But it's okay. So the Ring, I put it on my story. The Ring released this little interview of Ryan talking about a new app yesterday. He looks horrible. His face, I sent it to Tommy and Paulie too in our chat, and I was like, when you're looking at a fighter in a weigh-in, my dad used to say he has vacancy in his eyes. Sometimes that's a bet. When a fighter there's nothing vacant. Ryan does not. I mean, at least go to the Ring's Instagram if you can right now and pull it up. You won't get flagged if you want to see what I'm talking about. He looks like he looks like a guy to me that has cut a lot of weight, that probably didn't cut weight the right way. We know he's training with his father in their living room. Who has he been sparring with? I love the fact that Mario brought in, he stayed with Bob Santos, but he brought in Joe Goosen. I love the sparring Mario's been getting. All of these things matter. Ryan doesn't want to go and be the B-side anywhere. Ryan doesn't want to get beat up in sparring. He doesn't want to be the nail. He only wants to be the hammer. And I think that we saw that against Raleigh. And I think we're going to see more of that.
You're making a pretty convincing argument. I grant you that. Yeah.
I have to dig my boots in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so the boys know. The boys know we're not, me and you, we don't throw shit at the wall and hope that something sticks. If we're going to stand on a fight, and nobody's 100% right, but when we are right, at least you guys will know who's watching this. We have reasons. And when we're wrong, you guys know we're wrong because we're inviting you into our homes. So it's that's why I chose Mario, though.
I'm having some issues here with Instagram. I can't.
It's all good.
Yeah,
you don't have to pull it. We can move on. The boys could go to the Ring. The boys could do their own research.
I logged out of everything and I can't get back in.
Don't do it. It's all good, man.
All right. Let's get to the next one. So you like Barrios by points. I like Ryan on points, but
Barrios, my pick, my official pick that the boys are going to get on my Patreon, the boys will get on my Discord will be Mario Barrios money line. I got him at plus 210.
All right, let's move to the next one. I think Hitchens outclasses Duarte. I love this as a parlay piece. Duarte minus 380. I like. Hitchens minus 380. Sorry, Hitchens minus 380 over Duarte. I love Hitchens on the money line. I do like the over. I like it to go the distance. Hitchens by decision is minus 180. I love Hitchens in this fight. I'm doing the tape on it now. I'll have this video out for y'all tonight. But to me, this is easy money. This is a guaranteed. This is a great. I don't want to say guaranteed. Scratch that from the record. Safety. It's nearly a lock.
Yeah. Like a safety.
This is a great bet.
Yeah.
This is a great play. There's also a knockdown prop with this under 1.5 knockdowns. I don't think Hitchens is going to get anywhere close enough to get knocked down in this fight. So under 1.5 knockdowns is minus 475. It's a parlay piece. To me, this is a good fight to bet. I think Hitchens clearly wins this. I think there's a tier between the two of them. And I keep hearing Gustavo Lamos. Like, all right, stop. Gustavo Lamos and Duarte are not that similar.
Two different styles.
Yeah. Like, if Duarte got outboxed by Ryan Garcia, who all of y'all in the chat telling me sucks, and he outboxed Duarte, what is Hitchens going to do to him? But I let you take it away, John. I passed the ball to you.
I gotta be honest with you too, man. In my Discord, the Discord's cut in half. There's a lot of people thinking.
I understand Garcia versus Barrios. They both suck. I get it.
Yeah, same.
Go ahead.
People think I know guys that, like, you know, in my chat that are thinking that Duarte beats Hitchens. I don't see it. Maybe because I rate. Look, I'm a big fan of technique. I always talk about if you have fast feet, if you have good feet, a great world-class jab, you will go far in this sport. You don't need a lot. You just need to do a few things really well. Hitchens does that really well. When I taped Oscar, and now, once again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but he looks like an entirely different athlete than the guy who fought Ryan Garcia. Physically, optically, body composition. So make what you will of that. He looks like a totally different guy physically. Now, when I take
how do you say it? I say Duarte. How do you say it?
I think I say it wrong. I probably say it wrong.
I guess I do it. Is there a fluent Spanish speaker who Duarte? How else
people are worrying about semantics here. Don't you guys want the Nick Grit, the money making tips? Come on now. We're not thespians or English professors. So when I watched Duarte versus Kenny Sims Jr. again, it's kind of like the blood and guts Mexican style. It's why he has a lot of fans. Oscar Duarte, right?
I can't. I'm just gonna say Duarte. That's how I'm gonna say it. That's how I learned how to say it.
I think the fight could look like, it might go a little longer stylistically, of how Nick Flaz versus Tiger Johnson looked, because Richardson's game, using the length, using the entire ring, using his feet, using his jab to set everything up against a pressure forward style fighter who really doesn't have a lot of variance to his entrances. A lot of his setups are just one coming forward sort of thing, get your way in, get in the front door, bully. I could see him walking on to a lot of things from Hitchens.
So give me your official prediction. I think I know what you're doing here, but like
I like Hitchens. So I gave the boys in the Patreon and our insiders 2 tickets so far. One of them is I call it a safety net parlay, a 5-leg money line with plus money. It's at plus 110. It's already up and live. I have Hitchens in that parlay on the money line, which is only like, it doesn't pay too well. I'm like 24 to 48 hours away once I see the props open up. I might take a risky, I'll let everyone know, man, you guys, I took Tiger at plus 1,000 to stop Nick, and I hit on that. I'm going to see what the odds are. I might take Hitchens to stop Duarte. That's all I'm saying.
Guys, please.
I took him at plus 600 to stop George. I think Hitchens is a guy who is going to continue to level up. I think that he needed a viral moment. I talk about this all the time on my channel. He has all the tools. People are going to bring up old past performances, but you got to look. I'm looking at his career from the George onwards now. He goes viral. He learns how to set his power up. He stops a former world champion. He now has gained the confidence to let those tools unleash, to throw those punches in precarious situations. We'll see. I think he's going to be more brave than people expect.
I do want to, this is, thank you, GK. I want to, and then we're going to move on to the next fight. Johnny, don't forget, when you're betting against Garcia, you're betting on Barrios. And this is why I'm not betting on this fight.
GK has been spamming our Discord all the last 48 hours with his love for Ryan Garcia. So look, at this stage of the game, GK, you know, you're my boy. We don't have to agree on everything. My boots are in. Fair point, but you're also betting on Ryan. Flip that.
That's why both guys are.
You're also betting on Ryan, dude. What are we doing? I'd rather bet on the more disciplined guy. Call him flat feet. I'd rather bet on the more disciplined guy outside of the ring, the bigger dude. They both been stopped by Tank. You know what I'm saying? It's not the end of the world. They both have, dude, Tank has
And
knocked
to
out.
be fair, Barrios was much more competitive in that fight. He was
Much
winning
more,
the fight late in the fight. Much more competitive.
much more competitive. And so that all that aside, when I do my pros and cons, I feel much more comfortable betting on Mario. 100%. I don't think Mario's performance against Manny was as bad as people say. I just watched it. Rewatch Raleigh. What have you done for me lately? Ryan's performance against Raleigh. What makes me think that that's not who he is now? That is the product. That's the product.
All right, but you're ignoring that Maidana performance and the Abel Ramos. It's his last 3 performances, not just the Pacquiao fight.
What have you done for me lately? Now. He's not fighting Maidana. He's fighting Ryan, who just looked like
I'm not telling anyone to bet any money on Ryan Garcia. I just want to put that out there. I get it. I am picking him to win the fight. I am not betting on him.
I get it. No.
All right.
I'm getting
Gary.
Yeah. Go on.
Gary Antoine Russell, Andy Hioaka. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong too because I'm not a fluent Japanese speaker. But this is a fun fight as long as it lasts. I just think Hioaka gets hit too much. I don't think he's going to be able to keep that distance that he likes. Gary Antoine Russell is a dog. He's a beast. I would like. It's the one guy's like, do I have to spar him again? Please don't put me in the ring with him. Like I don't feel like doing this. Not even for 3 rounds with headgear and 16-ounce gloves. I don't want to spar this guy. That's Gary Antoine Russell. I think it's fun. I think it's competitive. But I like Gary Antoine Russell and potentially by late stoppage because I just think Hioaka, who make it competitive, gets hit too much.
Yeah, this is another fight, man, and this is why it's going to be a fun fight weekend in our Discords. Shout out to Rob Lee. He goes by Skills in our Discord. He's making a lot of points to take Hioaka. I'm not one of those. I definitely think that I have GAR right at the cusp of my pound for pound list. I like his style. I feel this matchup is going to bring the best out of Gary Antoine Russell. I feel that as he's already world champion, I want to see GAR's name in the marquee headlining Vegas arenas. This is how good I think he is. I watched him in the amateurs. The Alberto Puello matchup, a 5'9" southpaw like Puello who fights you at range, fights you at distance, fights you on the inside, is an awkward matchup for anybody. He jumped out to an early lead in that matchup. I felt like it was a tactical error. He kind of ran out of gas, stopped throwing some punches, and he lost a close decision. He then goes and fights Rayo from bell to bell, pillar to post, belt to ass. And we know how tough Rayo is. Rayo just had his comeback fight and looked really good. I think Hioaka's best win is Jin Sasaki. And when you look at Hioaka's resume, there's not a lot there.
It's not great. It's really
it's not that great. I love a southpaw versus southpaw matchup. I think it's going to be a firefight. We're going to see I want to see GAR's chin tested. This will be, when you think about it, this would be the biggest puncher GAR has been in there with, you think? I mean, Hioaka on paper will be the biggest puncher. You would see he probably cracks harder than Rayo, or maybe not.
Because Postal can crack, right?
Antoine Russell did.
Gary Antoine Russell, yeah. But, Postal.
So they're kind of in. What is Hioaka's coming off the Ismael Barrios?
I'm trying to remember. Postal actually can't hit, can he?
He wasn't in his prime. Victor Bostel.
But I don't think he's a hitter either. I'm trying to remember Postal.
I haven't heard of him since he fought Bud in 20. That was over a decade ago. But so I like GAR. I have him on that safety net parlay as well. He's on there with Hitchens on the money line. I'm still not getting props yet. I could see Antoine Russell. I'm hoping by late stoppage too. If when I make that official, guys, you'll know about it. I'll post it in the Patreon. I'm not getting the props.
All right. I got some props on this. Gary Antoine Russell by stoppage to me is an interesting bet. Gary Antoine Russell on money line at minus 350, I think is a great parlay piece. Gary Antoine Russell by stoppage paying plus 150. Wow. It's an interesting play to me.
What do the points pay? What do the points pay?
By points is plus 140. Gary Antoine Russell.
Okay, so the books are seeing what we're seeing. I think Hioaka is, it's that Japanese archetypal modern era style, brave, wants to be in your wheelhouse. People really are going to see how good of GAR's timing, countering, understanding distance and range, and then his long tools as well, his straight punt. He's a lot to deal with, man. technically sound, defense, good coaching, good family. They're gonna have a game plan, and I think he's gonna build on the Rio win. You got to expect it. He's in his prime now. We want to see him more active. He got, he doesn't have to worry about the pressure of 100% knockout to win ratio with the loss to the Playo. If that had to be 17-0, 17 knockouts, that's all everyone talks about. That had to be annoying. I'm sure it sucked for him to lose, but that's all out the window. He could go out there. I want to see him active. I want to see him fight 4 times this year.
I want to move on to the next one because this one's hotly debated. After watching the tape, I actually changed my mind on this one. I'm pretty confident about it. To me, this is almost unbettable at this point because of the price on Frank Martin. I do think Frank Martin is more skilled. I think he's got better feet. I think he can pivot in and out. I do think he's good enough to get in on him. The reach advantage isn't when you look up the reach advantage. Albright looks much longer, right? It's only a 1 inch reach advantage. It's deceiving by the eye. Right, it looks like Albright's way longer. He's actually only got like a 1 inch reach advantage. So to me, Martin's a better athlete. He can get in and out on him. He throws more in combination. To me, really Albright, and I don't mean this to be insulting because he's a one-trick pony. I think he's a very good fighter. He's mostly a jabber. Yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of power. He doesn't have a lot of like the determination. Sometimes when you have a matchup like this, what I always ask myself is, who's the more determined guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in their style. Not like, oh, I want to win. We all want to win. But, like, what style is more determined? Frank Martin, another guy on this card that Tank Davis stopped. You know what I mean? Like, it's no shame.
And he was doing well in that fight, too, until
and this is
backpedaling. I hate that. That's not a fight plan to run.
Yeah.
You picked Josh Kelly. Congratulations to you. I still don't think he won that fight. I thought that was egregious. But I hate that. And then you just see him run out of gas, and now he's fighting for survival instead of fighting his opponent. I hate consistent backpedaling in a 12-round fight. You can't win at a world-class level that way. And I hate it when Frank Martin did it. And I think
where Frank Martin's shortcomings were against Tank was his lack of experience. That you got to see how important and pivotal experience plays. We see footage of Tank boxing when he's 7, 8 years old. Frank picks the sport up a little bit late. Why is that important? The nuances. In round 2 and round 3, Tank feints and Frank bites on it really hard, and Tank winked at him. And in that moment, I knew I was like, Tank's gonna stop him. He's already biting on feints that big in the second round. Tank is gonna he's gonna set a trap, and he did. And so, but he looked great against Rancis. Rancis was 80 years old. I mean, he still looked great against Bartholomew, and he came out super aggressive, very determined. He looked like he leveled up to me in what his offense looked like. Like everything to me, and maybe it was the weight class, maybe the extra 5 pounds, it looked like it helped him.
I got a question. So the 3 guys that gave Tank the most trouble, the draw, which everyone thought was a loss to Roach, it should have been a loss. Yeah. Did Roach run from him? Nope. Barrios, who was up on the scorecards and had Floyd Mayweather in panic after 10, did he run from him? Nope. And did Isak run from him? Nope. So
you got
running from Tank is not a good strategy. Just the 3 guys that had the most success against him didn't run at all.
Shout out to PJ. No, it is. You got to fight. You got to bully the bully. I think Albright. I give Albright. He's been in there with the better guys. He's been there with the more seasoned guys. He has a longer jab. He's a better jab. I think Albright's the better boxer. I talked about this actually. If it was just boxing, I think Albright's the more seasoned boxer. I think Frank Martin, though, is going to make Albright fight. And I'm leaning on Frank winning the fight.
I am too, but the reason why I can't touch this is the price. Minus 390? This is an even fight. I can't touch it.
I think it should be closer to 50-50. If anything, those odds just suggest the cult following Frank has, and not a lot of people know who Wu is.
What did Frank Martin do to deserve this kind of... I like Frank Martin. I got to meet him personally in Dallas a bunch of times. I like him.
It's crazy.
But what? Yeah. I didn't think he was going to win this fight until I really broke down the tape. All right, he does a lot more things. He's a lot more versatile.
There's some X factors.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Albright had power, if Albright had legit power, it'd be a different story. But when he lacks sort of legit power, which I think Frank has power. But I think it's the relationship with EJ. People like I think when EJ was coming up, it was like Frank was his sidekick, and how Frank does it. You asked about where all the fans come from. I think it's that, and he doesn't really like floss a lot. I
I'm
don't
taking
know.
the over too. I love the over. The
I
play
like
I
the
love on
over.
this is the over to go the distance.
I like the this. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
don't mind
odds are
that at
wild.
all.
I agree. I like Frank Martin, but I don't like him as a parlay piece because the odds are just they're too wide. I hate the price on it.
People don't know
Like
Albright. The real ones
10,
do.
10
Real ones do.
remember 10-round fight, not 12. We're going 10. If
Yeah.
you told me that Albright wins a 96-94 decision, yeah, okay, I can see it. So like if I had to actually bet, I might just I'm not laying that much wood on Martin. If I had to bet this, I might just roll the dice on an upset because the price. You're encouraging me to bet Albright, right? And you're discouraging me from betting Martin. I can't bet on Martin. I can bet the over. I can bet it to go the distance. But just the price. I can't lay that much wood.
What is Albright on points pay?
Albright by points plus 500.
That's a short. There's going to be some short.
Incredible, right? Like it's. I don't even think he's going to win the fight, but that bet's like.
I mean, but
yeah, maybe
that's a path to fit. Like I could see him winning a points decision, and it's not as crazy. It's not as crazy as me saying that Hitchens is going to stop Duarte. That shit sounds nuts. But when you hear Nair Albright winning a points decision against Frank, you can see that.
But could you see Albright eking out a 96-94 decision when not much happens? He slows the pace down to a halt. He keeps
using the jab. Frank coming out flat. The thing is,
he wins a couple rounds early. He's up 3 rounds.
Why I'm not second guessing this is because maybe somebody could point me towards a fight, but it's really tough to frustrate. Like Frank never looked deterred against Tank Davis. It's not like he was sitting there looking like deflated. He always looks determined to me. He looks like a guy that is sticking to his game plan. He's well educated. He's well schooled. He's well prepared. He's strong. He's fast. He's explosive. He can punch. I think he's going to look great. That's my pick.
All right. So moving on. We're agreeing a lot more than I kind of thought we would agree on a lot of these fights.
All it takes is one disagreement, though, to get the boys going crazy.
Lee Wood, Josh Warrington. I think we may disagree on this one.
Okay. So I'm actually bringing on shout out to Joe Stunner Boxing. Do you know Joe Stunner?
I don't. I'm about to.
He's an OG. He's probably he just wears his smoking robe. He doesn't do any edits. He's a UK old timer. He loves talking about the golden era, but he has his feet and his fingers in the pots of the UK domestic regional, like this scene. So initially, when the last time I taped Lee Wood, it was for the Kakachi fight. And it went exactly how I thought it was going to go. I've been watching Kakachi. People were shading Kakachi because he took the money and he chose to not fight Sugar and get stripped to fight Lee Wood, which was a way bigger money fight. And he did what he had to do, and now he's getting an opportunity, Kakachi, to fight Jazza for the belt that got vacated because Jazza beat Garcia and got elevated. So it worked out for Kakachi. Lee Wood gets stopped against Kakachi, gets hit a lot. That style doesn't age well. I thought he was losing the first fight. I'm going with the Lee's Warrior. I like Warrington in this fight.
I thought Warrington was winning the first fight. I thought he just got caught. Now, Warrington does get caught like that.
Oh, yeah. This fight.
I agree with you. I've always been like a Josh Warrington apologist. I've been called a Josh Warrington. I just like him stylistically, the volume, the pressure. He's pretty athletic. He can get in and out, and then he works on the inside. Like, he's just a hard guy. Like, he can win rounds, and he can win rounds. And I always thought his pop. I know he's only got like 3 knockouts or whatever ridiculous number it is. But, like, he's hurt people. He just, he doesn't know how to finish. But I've always been a Warrington guy, and I've been burnt with him a couple of times, but I'm sticking with him. Like, I'm going down in a blaze of glory with Josh Warrington. I'm taking. Josh Warrington.
He was like on a lot of people's lists until Bronco Lara, and Bronco Lara does that to everybody. Bronco Lara did it to Lee Wood, came to the UK and just stopped you. You know what I mean? And then he lost to Luis Alberto Lopez, which is no shade. And then did he get stopped again? And then he gets stopped against Lee Wood. And then Kakachi beat him on points. But he's coming off a UD decision. Look, this is a half unit bet for me. I'm not betting my car note on Lee Wood versus Josh Warrington. I think Warrington, they both should probably retire after this, don't you think? But
well, the winner's going to continue. You know that the winner's going to fight on. I thought. I still think there's something left in Warrington. Let's see.
I can't believe Lee Wood is 30. Lee Wood's 37 now. Crazy.
All right.
So I like Warrington, to answer your question.
We both like Warrington. Warrington by decision or Warrington? I like Warrington by.
What's he on the money line?
Warrington on the money line is plus 130.
Plus 140. That's another dog. Yeah. The way I bet, whenever I get plus money on the money line, I just put it on a dog ticket. I'm not going to get too sexy on it. The last
Warrington
thing you want to do
decision is plus 285. Oh, I'm betting that.
Yeah, but we've seen Lee's chin just kind of crumble before, and Josh will fight. Josh fights like he's a knockout artist.
He does. Like that's what Jeb just said. Jeb said, "I always like Warrington, no power, but he fights like he's cracking insanely."
Okay,
he thinks he loves his power, and he doesn't really have any. But
no, I think he has like 8 knockouts.
I don't even think it's 8. I think it's like 3. Let me look it up. I think it's like 3.
Something.
It's not super low. Yeah,
it's not double digits.
He's 35 years old now too. God dang. It's 8. He's got 8 knockouts in 30. I thought it was less than that.
Yeah, it's definitely not double digits.
All right. Let's get to the next Fawaz. And this isn't interesting because I looked at Fawaz initially and I was like, okay, this guy sucks. And then he keeps winning. And all right, what about this guy? And I think he's gonna win this fight. I think Davis is just too basic. He's just too in the front door. I think Fawaz can win enough rounds here. Fawaz win the decision here, which is interesting for me because I don't think Fawaz is any good, but like he keeps proving me wrong. Yeah. What am I missing in Fawaz that he is actually pretty good?
Bro, like I think he has a great story.
He looks like a robot to me. It's like who taught you how to fight like that?
Well, he has do you know about his story about how he came to the UK in the early 2000s? They wouldn't give him they didn't give him residency. He got offered by Frank Warren, I think in 2011, $50,000, and he couldn't take the money because he didn't have a passport, so he couldn't have a bank account, and it was like this. He was caught in limbo for refugee status, and he was never allowed to leave the UK because if he did, he would never be allowed back in. But his whole life was the UK. You know, this is where he's from. And so he gets the Junaid Boston first fight. Junaid Boston is an upstart prospect, nicknamed Starboy. Junaid Boston. The first fight was a split draw. I thought Bilal won that fight. They fight the second time. This is the fight that caused Ticketgate, by the way. Just if everyone's keeping track. We took Bilal Fawaz at plus 280, and he won a decision, and this is where Carlos made the fake ticket. And so
all right. We don't need to get all that again. We look that.
Did he hold on? I gotta be honest with you, Gary. I don't know the rhetoric. Are there people who think that the ticket wasn't fake?
No comment. I don't answer questions, officer. I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions, officer.
We need to get Chilltown in this one. Then we need to get Chilltown because he put the key. He got out of this thing unscathed. He was the one who opened the door with this. But anyway, it was that fight. Now look at Ishmael Davis's resume. He's been in there with world champions. He's fought a lot.
Much better. Yeah.
Bilal Fawaz's resume is horrible. He only has 11 pro fights. I'm torn on this one. The hopeless romantic in me, I like Fawaz's story, so I've won money on Bilal before. This is another plus money fight. But when you look at who he's fought, man, the fight before Junaid, 13-1. Before that, 8-16, 9-129, 11-48, 8-34. He's 37 years old, by the way. He's a young 37, though. Ishmael Davis, 15-3. He's 30, right?
I don't know.
He's been in there with
a compliment or an insult. And Diggs. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but shout out. Continue.
I mean, he majority decision loss to Josh Kelly, world champion. Got stopped against Sari Boacek. Boacek just got back on the winning track. Lost a split decision to Igarko. A lot of people think he won. Won a points decision against Aboigbe. Just beat Sam Gilly. Beat Troy Williamson. Troy Williamson just beat Callum Simpson. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. Is this too much for? Are we going to see levels here? Are we going to see Bilal Fawaz, a domestic prospect guy, versus Ishmael Davis, a world level guy? He's been in there with world champions.
Maybe.
What do you think? I was waiting until
I just see Ishmael Davis as so basic. Like he's so he doesn't have any real feet. He doesn't.
How's his gas tank? How's his gas tank?
It didn't stand out to me either way. It didn't seem like an issue.
So right? You probably like Bilal's jab and his athleticism.
I don't even think yes, I'll take him Fawaz on the jab. Yeah. And I think he can keep him there because like I think it just all depends on the terrain. What's the location of the fight? If it's on the inside, then Fawaz is getting steamrolled. Can he keep him? Can Fawaz keep him there? Then he's going to win the fight. I don't like the jab of.
I think there's craft. I think with world level experience comes nuanced craft of how to win a fight. This is Bilal Fawaz's first ever 12-rounder. He's never fought a 12-rounder before.
Fawaz's tank is great. You asked me about Davis's tank, though, right? Who's?
No, I asked you about Davis. I asked you about that. That's why I did. But I knew Fawaz. I was playing. I know about Fawaz's tank. I asked you about Ishmael. We might see a draw for sure. What's the most likely draw?
I think a draw is a good bet on that. 79.
Maybe
it's a very very close fight.
I think Albright Martin is not a bad shout for 15-1 for a draw.
Good bet.
Bilal Fawaz is drawn in his and Ishmael Davis is always in close fights. Here's what I'm going to do, and before I put money on that, because I messaged Joe Stunner. I want to hear Stunner's predict. I want to hear his opinion because he's really knowing the different levels, and I'm waiting for him to answer my question. I'm like, are we going to see Bilal just showcase he's a level below? He's not world level. And if he says, yeah, I'm going to take Ishmael, I'll let everybody know. I'm going to message him right now. Maybe we could get him to respond on the show. So, boys, if you're in the Discord, I'll let you know what he says. I messaged Joe Stunner. I want to see what he says. Because the UK scene's his thing. And that's what I'm trying to do. Connect all the dots. We got the UK, Australia, America.
All right. And then the other one, Beck the bully. People don't like Beck. I don't love Beck either. He's minus 1,000.
Kuziev. You don't like Beck?
He's going to win. Yeah, no, he's going to win the fight.
It's because he beat DFG. That's why you don't like him.
Yeah, maybe. But like people tell me like Becco could win this fight. I don't see that at all. Any thoughts? I don't want to spend too much time on this guy. I don't really think it's
no.
Yeah.
I got Bektemir on the safety net parlay with I'll give free game away. I haven't posted this yet. I think I'll wait till we get there because I think there's the girl fight. I think both Sandy Ryan on points, they're giving you points, and Clarissa on points together is like, I don't ever say the word lock, but I have that, and then I have Bektemir on that ticket as well.
I haven't done the tape yet on Sandy's opponent. I'm going to do that tomorrow, probably. A lot of people tell me Sandy, it's such a mismatch. Sandy could stop her. Your thoughts on that? I don't think so.
Call Zamora. Zamora has like at least, I think, 30 pro fights. She's like Sandy Ryan. The only girl I ever picked to win by stoppage is Gabby Fandora. That's one of my death taxes.
Caroline Dubois. Yeah.
Caroline Dubois is fighting against your girl Terry Harper. You think
I thought Sandy Ryan was my girl because she kind of looks like my wife a little bit. I thought Sandy Ryan is Terry Harper. Is that my girl now?
I thought we were on a live stream back in the day because Terry Harper does all the Sandy does the push-ups, but Terry Harper wears the booty spandex and just.
I don't think I follow Terry Harper on IG. Maybe
give her a follow. You'll see what I'm talking about. But she's fighting Caroline Dubois. I think Carolyn is gonna
What
handle
is
her
with
there.
Sandy Ryan's page though? She's constantly doing push-ups in a G-string on the beach. What are we doing here?
It's like a form of sports washing. It's like the Germans in the 40s having the Olympics in Munich, acting like it's like on a micro scale. Let me do push-ups in my G-banger to disguise what we're really doing, and I'm a boxer as well. Come on, baby, it's for clicks.
All right. Shout out to Sandy Ryan.
Yeah, shout out to Sandy Ryan.
All right. And we both like Shields by points too. Anything else you want to touch on, or is that a wrap?
Give me a second. Let me pull up. I do have. Okay, so I gave the Patreon boys. So I have 1, 2, 3. I'll just give it away. The boys paid for this. If they're catching this live, it pays plus 110. It's a 5-leg. I do these every week. A safety net parlay, 4 or 5 money line picks that get you plus money. So whatever your wallet is, your bankroll. I have Sandy there, Bekdamir, GAR, Hitchens, and Clarissa.
There you go. All right. So the only thing we actually disagree on is Ryan and Barrios, correct?
Yeah, I think so. I think Ishmael Davis versus Fawaz goes the distance as well. I love that prop.
Yeah, I think it definitely goes the distance. 100% goes the distance.
So if you take Sandy and Clarissa on points and the fight to go the distance, that's plus 110 too. I have action on that. I just haven't posted it yet.
All right. I'm waiting. I don't have any props on Sandy yet. I'm gonna look at that. I gotta do the tape. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I got the right now I'm working on Hitchens. I'm working on that. I'm gonna get that out, and I'm gonna do the Sandy Ryan video. So by the time I go live tomorrow, I'll probably have all of that for you guys live.
Well, the odds just shifted. Duarte's now a plus 340. That's crazy. Those odds seem crazy to me. I think that fight is going to be closer than, Duarte being almost a 4-1 dog against Hitchens. What does your book say?
Let me get it up here. I got Duarte. I can't change it now. Duarte. I got him at plus 280.
Does that seem legit?
Well, plus 340 would be better, right?
Yeah. Would that change the way you look at it?
No, I don't think Duarte. I don't think Duarte is like Albright where he has a real chance. I think Hitchens is going to outclass him. I don't think the fight's particular. I'm not saying Duarte ain't going to be competitive or he's going to lose every round. I don't see any way Duarte wins this fight. I could see Albright seeking out a decision. I think that's very possible. I wouldn't bet on it. I would take Martin, but in this particular situation, I think this is much more one-sided.
Of all the fights we spoke about, is there any fighter that you could see on the canvas?
Yeah, Ryan or Barrios, either one of them.
So what's a knockdown prop play? Is there a knockdown prop on your book?
That's a good one. Yeah. Hang on. I haven't looked at that yet. Both fighters to be knocked down plus 650. I think that's a decent bet. Either fighter to be knocked down minus 225. Yes. It's a good bet.
It's a good bet. Nice. I like it. I could definitely see some. So do you see Hioaka on the canvas? Do you see Duarte on the canvas?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. I think Hioaka hits the canvas. And I think someone in the Barrios fight, potentially both guys, hit the canvas.
Okay. I like that too. Yeah, it's a good fight week. We were due for some big names. I can't wait for the fights. What's the one fight you're looking most forward to?
As a fan?
Yeah, as a fan.
Gary, Antoine Russell, and Andy Hioaka.
Same. Same. Me too, man. That was supposed to be on the card, 6 weeks ago? What was that massive card?
Yeah, I forget what card it was. Yeah, it was
Keyshawn.
Yeah, Keyshawn.
I think it was supposed to be on.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed, nobody pulls out. We don't want any fuckery, boys. We want everyone to make weight. We don't want it. You know what I mean? It's nothing's worse than doing tape, and then somebody you uploaded, they pull up. Oh my god!
Can you address this? Not this. This.
I mean, I just said that.
Ashley Hopper. Is Cash Out King. Can we address
Who's
this?
Ashley? Who's Ashley Harper?
I don't know, but that's obviously a fake picture of Muscles in the fake Cash Out King.
Oh, is that Muscles? Dude, I miss Muscles, man. Muscles.
Oh, it's a real picture of. It's a fake.
Yeah.
It's a real picture of Muscles. It's a
Who's
fake.
Who's Cash Out King?
Cash Out King is someone who's always in my chat. Who doesn't?
Okay, I don't know him.
Cash Out King was the guy that kept.
He doesn't like me.
$2.
Why does it? Hold on. Why doesn't Cash
I don't know.
Like
That's what. Remember last time we went live and someone kept paying me $2 to read the horrible things about you. Remember?
Was that him?
That was Cash Out King.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Cash Out King. So.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I don't know, man. I don't know who these. Hioaka's still in. I jinxed it. I just said. Hopefully nobody. Fucking hell. That's the one foot visa issues. Do you know? Is there credence to this?
They keep saying. I haven't looked into it. I don't know.
I'm looking right now. News. Nothing as of yet. But the boys are educated, man. If that was Skills, and Rob Lee is Skills in my Discord. He's the one who was taping, and he said that he liked Hioaka. He was so maybe. Damn, this fight is doomed. It's like the Khabib Nurmagomedov Tony Ferguson fight, UFC fight was doomed. They should have. They got postponed like 5 times, and they never fought. But this one's looking like that. If this is off, that's gonna. Awful.
It ain't great. This is other than that, I am looking forward to Barrios and Garcia because I think it has the potential to be a fun fight. I do. I
think it'll be a fun fight. Like watching the stare, I can't wait to see what they look like weigh-ins. But watching the stare down there on the press day, Barrios just looks so much bigger. Like his head, he has this massive sort of like big, and Ryan just frame. We'll see.
Yeah, Barrios started at 22 and 26, right? And they kept him at 130 for a super long time. I talked about this in one of my live streams where the only goal for Barrios was to keep him as small as possible. So he's basically just going to weight camp, but I don't think he ever really developed properly. But because it was just weight camp. Yeah, he kept look at his career early on when he's fighting that Cowboys in San Antonio. He's 122 and 126.
122. That's insane.
He was all arms. He was built like Paul Williams. It was all arms and legs.
Oh, dude, I love watching his tape. I was just watching the Paul Williams Winky Wright fight. Dude, when Paul Williams would cook, his mobility fucking going that fucking like, oh my God, dude, that fight, the whole fight happened in the middle of the ring. Winky Wright with his high guard, dude. I feel there's an issue in the modern era with coaching. I think there's coaching issue. Maybe worth a sprinkle, turn 300. What is this?
He did. Terry Lance turned $300 into 7,000 on. It was Pope Benito, Buke, and someone else, but he turned 300 into $7,000. Yeah.
Jesus, good hit, Terry.
Yeah,
that's good to hear. That's insane. Wow, that was like what 40 to 1 then. There's 2 girls that come on Gary's live.
What chicks come on my live?
Gary got them girls coming on his live.
I'm happily married. I got no girls coming on my live.
I've never seen a female on your live.
I don't think so. All right. You good? We're good. An hour. We're good.
I think we're. Yeah, I have a ribeye, a steak. I'm about to fuck up. I can't wait to cook it.
It's already 6 o'clock my time, and I haven't eaten yet today, so I'm gonna go do some dinner.
Yeah, it's 11. Wow, 6. So I usually eat in a window of about like 11 a.m. to about 5 p.m. and that's when I eat.
Let's talk nutrition with Johnny Fitness before we go. I only eat once a day. It's a doozy, but I obviously I only eat meat, and I only eat once a day. So right now I'm gonna have a pound of chicken, some steak strips, and some bacon. That's what I'm gonna eat right now. So about 2 pounds of meat. That's all I eat.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's legit.
How many times
there's legit science about the carnivore diet in terms of like promote.
I've researched it for years and years and years. Like Yeah,
put it this way. When I was a kid, I used to suffer from I would get rashes around my elbows, like around the creases on both elbows. I'd get them on the back of the knees. And then, the doctors didn't know what it was from. They thought it was an allergic reaction. and then they would come up every now and then as an adult. And then when I was 32, I found out about like, 80-20 diets and carnivore diets, and I cut out carbohydrates for like a small amount of time, and the rashes went away.
There you go.
Like,
Yeah.
I literally saw a
The thing
skin.
is like that no one ever tells you about. Every single plant you eat is toxic.
Well,
Okay.
it's called the hormetic response. This is what people don't think. We were told that eating vegetables or eating all, and I'm not saying that there's one right way for everyone. Where your genetics are from matters, your medical history matters,
Sure.
that sort of thing. But the body does have a hormetic response, root word hormone, to where it goes into an inflamed state when certain things we eat, or eat certain things. It will always go into a hormetic response when we eat vegetables. I love broccoli. I love red peppers. I love green peppers.
But broccoli's not even a real food. Did you know that? Broccoli doesn't exist anywhere in the universe. It's made. It's manufactured. It's not real food. Broccoli doesn't grow. We can't grow broccoli.
It swells my stomach. I get stomach aches when I eat vegetables. It's crazy. So I don't think
some fruits, berries specifically, but in general, again, everyone's going to have different dietary needs. I don't think vegetables are meant to be eaten. I really don't.
There's theories on this. There's people who've written books on this. If people are interested, just Google the body's hormetic response. But it's about knowing
Dr. Anthony Chafee, who's in your neck of the woods. He's a great doctor. Are you familiar with Dr. Anthony Chafee? Rugby player from Australia?
No.
He's a doctor.
I don't doubt. Yeah.
Neurosurgeon from Australia. Check him out, Anthony Chafee. He's from he's from America, but he's a doctor in Australia now. He played professional rugby or something and ended up in Australia. Yeah. But check him out, Dr. Anthony Chafee. Yeah, he says all these things.
I feel it's very important for people if they struggle with weight issues, gut issues, to figure out and sort of experiment with things that I was raised. It's my mother from Central Italy, pastas, sauces, garlic breads, carb, and I thought that was normal. And eat pizza, and these are my favorite foods. But when I eat them,
of course, I love carbs too. No one. My mom is from Sicily. No one loves carbs more than me. Nobody. But I don't eat it anymore.
I can't eat them, man. It messes. So I'm gonna have a ribeye steak, and then I have chicken thighs that I eat, and then pretty much I have a South African butcher. Thank God, dude. If you could get, dude. South African butchers, mate. That's my hidden secret. I'll go get lamb chops and lamb cutlets like that big, dude. So yeah, I stick to lamb, beef, and I'll have chicken thigh. Aaron's Landy Lara beat Williams.
I eat a lot of seafood and beef and
for sure.
Yeah, beef, chicken, bacon, eggs, and seafood. I don't really eat anything else. I don't eat any plant anymore. I don't eat any vegetables. All I eat is about 2.5 pounds of meat. One meal a day. I'm going to eat it as soon as I get off this live. That's it. I agree with this comment. Lara beat Williams clean. That was, I think, a top 3 worst decision I'd ever seen in my years of watching boxing. That was a disgusting, egregious decision.
That was different. That was different, Lara, too. That was Lara using the entire ring, Lara. Lara's been around. Are we gonna ever respect the game that Landy Lara has given us?
Never.
Jesus, man, he's given us
anyone who's ever fought Lara, and you just ask him, who's the best fighter you ever fought? Without hesitation, they say Lara.
Gave us so much, man. He's God damn it, put some respect on his name. You know what I mean? He's still doing the damn thing. Skeezy just said something. I think Dr. Anthony. I think he was
Chafee. Yeah, he's from America, but he lives.
Oh, there you go. Skeezy lives in Perth. He's he's a Perth boy.
There you go. Yeah, check out Anthony Chafee though. He does good work.
I'll check him out.
You guys, if you are having an issue with weight loss, if you just did the carnivore diet and all you did was drink water and eat fatty meat, I lost 70 pounds in about 4 months. 4 months doing it.
I went from
what was the biggest? Now, I'm about 178 now, 14% body fat. I was about 250. About
250. Just office life sort of thing.
Yeah, just eating, and I wasn't even eating that. The food in America is so bad. It's so bad. There's no nutrition in it. So you don't ever feel full. So you just
Yeah.
keep eating and eating and eating and eating because you actually haven't gotten any nutrition. And the food is pseudo food. I could go on and on. And then
Well, it's
I
because
had healthy.
meat. It's because beef is satiating. It's
Yeah.
why like you could eat a big bowl of pasta with Parmesan cheese and be hungry an hour later. But
Yeah,
once
it's
I
like
eat,
Thanksgiving dinner, right? You eat
yeah,
if you just ate the turkey, you'd be fine. But when you eat all of the stuffings and the macaroni and cheese and the pie, you keep getting hungry because your
all right,
blood sugar
I
is
got it.
spiking.
You're making me I'm starving, so I gotta go.
All right, I gotta go, guys.
Thanks, Jerry, man. We'll do this again.
All
Good
right.
luck to everybody.
Yes,
Good luck
sir.
with your bets. Yeah, be good.
All right, be good.
Don't miss a tweet, post, story, or video. 3D Boxing is on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Hit the subscribe button now to stay inside the ring.